On 30th July 2024, the earth gave way in Wayanad. The Chudalmalla Mundakai landslide buried homes, shattered lives, and left an entire community struggling to rebuild. Amid the wreckage, a remarkable initiative emerged: Bailey bags. But what are they? How did they become a symbol of resilience in a land scarred by disaster? And how did the Indian Army play a crucial role in turning this vision into reality? Hello, I'm Muskan Khandelwal, and today we have with us Wayanad District Collector IS Officer Meghashri DR, who will take us through this inspiring journey of survival, innovation, and hope. Stay with us as we uncover the story behind Bailey bags. So, thank you so much, ma'am, for joining in Masterminds today.
Thank you. Thank you, Muskan.
So the Indian Army's intervention with the Bailey bag was a turning point for the village. So at what moment did the administration decide that a livelihood initiative was necessary, and why was especially tailoring chosen?
Okay. So post-disaster, we came up with micro plans for individual families. So micro plan is like, for example, this is a real story that I'm going to tell you. There is a lady, I have just changed the name of the lady, okay? There is a lady by name Jasila, okay? She's 37-year-old woman. So Jasila was living with her husband in that disaster area. So her husband was working as a manager in the private estate. So he had prior work experience abroad. So he had earned sufficient money and they had built a house worth 50 lakh. They were having a four-wheeler, a car, a bike. They were living with their two children who were going to a private school, nearby private school. And Jasila's father-in-law and mother-in-law were also staying with them, who required some kind of medical attention. So that day, when it was raining heavily, Jasila's husband went out to see what happened. Then he got carried away in the water. So his body also could not be retrieved. So all of a sudden, overnight, Jasila lost her house, lost her husband, who's the sole breadwinning member of the family. And then, she had no prior work experience, and her education was also very limited. She has, she's not completed her degree also.
Okay.
So, this is just one case that I'm telling you. So what we did is, for individual families like this, for 1,084 families, so the immediate need Jasila had in front of her was nutritional needs of the family. The family has to eat food and survive. That's the basic requirement. Second thing is, the school-going children have to continue their education. Just because the father is not there, it's an emotional void, it's a big loss to the family that anyways I cannot compensate. But the children should not suffer because of the loss of the father in terms of education. So whichever school they were going on, they have to continue their education there itself. So health. Then third thing was health, the immediate health needs of the family. There are two aged persons in the family and they require some medical attention and it has to be taken care. Then the next need was livelihood assistance. This was a major challenge for us. So how do I give some kind of a permanent livelihood facility to Jasila? So then again, for how long will they survive with the government support? One or the other day they have to stand on their own and they have to survive. So that was a question in front of us. Then fifth would be providing skilling to such families who require intervention from the government. Then if they have any loan, existing loans, they were already impoverished and they cannot, afford to pay back the loans. So based on these 5 things, we prepared micro plan. This is just one example I told you. Similarly, 1,084 micro plans we completed. So health, education and nutrition was the easiest for us because existing policies and with the help of the sponsorship, we were able to saturate these needs. But livelihood, many people were not in a state of mind to come out of the trauma and then cooperate with us. That was one thing. But 50% of the livelihood needs we are able to handle with several interventions that we started at the district. So I think it was second month of the disaster, we came up with micro plan and we came up with a livelihood plan also. So like Kudumbashri is very active in Kerala. So we got in touch with Kudumbashri and Kudumbashri started counseling them, talking to them, provide the skilling assistance, started giving the skill fair, skill festival. We got in touch with a lot of sponsors. For example, there were some health hotel management graduates. So Taj accommodated them in their facility. Okay. So whoever was willing to go out, they were accommodated. But another major challenge was these women who cannot afford to go out of Mepadi. Forget Wayanad, they cannot go out of the panchayat also. Okay. Because they have their family there, they have to take care. Right. They have their school-going children. So that is when we came up with this idea. So we have to provide employment and livelihood assistance to them nearby their household itself. So at that time, a group of women, a motivated group of women, came and met me in the same chamber in which you are taking my interview. So I was in the middle of a lot of things like every day. Then they came to me and they said, "Madam, we want to do something." Then I asked, "What is?" Then at that point of time, I told them, "You please wait for some time." I asked them to wait because I was in the middle of a lot of things. I finished all of them and I came back to them and I asked them, "What is that you want to do?" Then they told me that, "Ma'am, we have seen this magic bag. Magic bag is a kind of a foldable handbag which can be kept inside a purse."
Okay.
So they said, like, "Ma'am, give us training in magic bags." So they already had formed a small kind of a association. So they had named it as Lifeline. See, they said, like, we want to brand it as Lifeline and then we want to sell it in the market. We do not just want to survive on the government support. We want to come up with an initiative and stand on our own legs. So that really impressed me. Then immediately our assistant collector was there. And then, like, I spoke to MS Swaminathan Research Foundation. Then I spoke to the district industries department. Then we held an urgent meeting with all of them. Then we told them these are various options available to you. You can do food processing, pickle making, bag making, umbrella making. We gave them a lot of options and they chose bag making.
Bag making.
Then, yes. So this is an example of what collaboration can do. So
Right.
here you can see district collector and the district administration, industries department, the Kudumbashree department is involved, and the local NGO, MS Swaminathan Research Foundation is involved, and motivated group of women. So we all came together. We just facilitated that. We ensured that they have completed their training because people were scattered all across. They were like, we have 3 taluks in Wayanad. They were coming from different taluks. So many a times they were not in a position to afford the bus fare also. So we like supported them. Then they completed their training. Then we have district collectors interning with me. So they are the ones who designed this logo. Then finally, Lifeline is what they wanted to brand it as. Then like we negotiated with them, we convinced them, like spoke to them at length. Then we wrote down a lot of things. Then finally, we thought it is a tribute to the Indian Army who gave this very essential support. Then they also like, see, that was the lifeline for the rescue operation,
Right,
and
true.
this is the lifeline for our livelihood. So Bailey came up like that.
Okay.
So after that, 26 women are there in that group. Since it was named as Bailey, then I got in touch with the Indian Army. We wrote to them. We sent them 2 bags. We told them that this is a tribute that we are giving to the Indian Army because you helped us, and it was a major turning point in the rescue operation. And a group of women have come up. It's a story of resilience. It's a story of what community together can do it. So they were also more than happy. Yesterday we had Major General of Indian Army coming over and visiting them. So they are their patterns, but other supports we are giving. And along with that, I would also like to mention the sponsorship that we have received. These women, they required raw materials, they required heavy machinery, tailoring machines. So all this we were able to procure with the help of sponsors.
Okay. So if you can, give something about the logo. The name is Bailey Bags and its logo, they both are, deeply symbolic. So if you could please explain the significance of choosing this name and the design element of that particular logo.
Yes. So the logo is also very interesting. It means, like the B. It means B. It looks like a bag. The logo looks like a bag,
Yes.
and there is an arch that connects. So it is the bridge was a major element in providing connectivity that we can see. Then we can see a river flowing across. So it's a very interesting thing. It was an innovative thing that was done by one of our interns.
Okay, that's really nice. So how many women are getting employment from this particular initiative?
26 families.
Okay.
26 women
Mhm.
are there in this initiative. But
Okay.
we also have plans for further expansion.
Okay.
Similar lines to Bailey bags, we are coming up with Bailey umbrellas. So Wayanad monsoons are going to come up in the
Right.
month of June. So before
Right.
that, we have identified another group of women who are interested in umbrella making. So under Bailey brand, they will be producing umbrellas, which will be marketed across Kerala and across the nation. And second thing is Bailey school bags. Before the next academic year, we are also planning to come up with Bailey school bags.
Okay.
Then corporate giftings. So these are some things that we have in mind. So it will not be specific to these 26 women because 26 women already have sufficient orders they can sustain. Now we are identifying another motivated group of mixed group, not just particular, not just limited to women. So they will be chosen, and we will be giving training to them in umbrella making, bag making, and other sectors.
Okay. So what kind of economic impact has the initiative had on the village?
I would say that, like these were the just referring back to the previous example I told you, they were already having a very good life.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden they were all pushed to poverty because of the disaster. So to a certain extent, government initiatives have definitely helped them. The government is providing rent, the government is providing livelihood assistance, nutrition kits, education assistance, and all those things. But this is like, for how long the government is going to support them, and like we should not make them dependable on us. So that is one thing that was there in our mind. Now, like, they're earning decent amount, but still they have a long way to go, because they're all amateurs. Their bags are also like, not perfect. They do not have that finishing. So they're learning it. They still have a long way to go, and they got very good orders also. I have got inquiries from Hyderabad, from various states across India. We have got overwhelming response, and they are not in a position to finish the orders that they have received.
Okay.
So such good response they have, but still they're just, they're not even the initial investment is very less. So we cannot think of this break even or something, but whatever they earn is going to their household expenditure. So that's a good thing.
Okay. So have there been, any unexpected outcomes from this initiative, such as younger generations becoming interested in entrepreneurship, or other communities seeking to replicate the similar model?
Definitely, many NGOs came and met me, because Wayanad, we predominantly tribal population is present here. So 36% of the entire Kerala tribal population is in Wayanad. So taking that into consideration, many NGOs got in touch with me, and they said they want to replicate similar model.
Okay.
And see, I am an IAS officer, I am a generalist, but I do not have much of an expertise in this livelihood matters and all those things. But many people came to me and told me that, this is one of the best models that you can have for livelihood. Because here you're not providing, they're not salaried. It is not a cooperative sector or something like that. It is their own initiative. You're only sitting as a patron, and you're giving them assistance in skilling, you're giving them training, you're giving them support when it requires to machinery. But you're also teaching them financial literacy. They're handling it on their own. Because usually what happens is, in other similar initiatives, once it takes the form of a cooperative sector, cooperative society, then they become employees, and they will be looking for regular salaries. So here, they are not employees. I'm not giving them any salary. I'm just facilitating them. I'm giving them a conducive environment wherein they can come up, and then they can flourish their own establishment.
Right. So any hurdles in marketing Bele bags to a wider audience, agar kuch aisa ho, and how you overcome them?
Not really. Like I mentioned, they're like, we have got overwhelming response, and they're not able to, because they're also learning now. They're amateurs. Like only 3-4 of them knew tailoring earlier. The rest of them have learned it now, and they're trying to do it. Kudumbashri, for the last Women's Day, they gave 800 bags orders. Then again, Indian Army has given some orders. Then again, from other NGOs are also giving them orders. So the thing is, like, we have to bring them to the next step. Professionalism in bag making, and then marketing, all those things, we are taking the next step together. And interns are also with them. Like they have created an Insta page, they have created a WhatsApp channel, and they are also helping them handle the orders. And these people, they do not know English or any other language. So when we are getting orders from across the nation, so it's slightly difficult for them to communicate. So these things we are teaching to them.
Right. So this is so much in our society that rural women-led businesses often face, societal limitation. Kahin na kahin aa hi jata hai. So did you encounter any resistance from male members of the community regarding women stepping into entrepreneurship?
Not really. That way, Kerala people are very open-minded, and we see a very nice mix of people there. People across different communities are there, across different religions are there. Then there is one lady, Nikita, she has a 6-month-old baby. So he was born right after the disaster, I think, 6 or 7 months old. So it's like she is the one who anchors and then, interacts with a lot of people. But then like, she'll be having a baby, carrying a baby, and then people take turns to take look after the
Oh,
baby.
wow.
This is what is really required also. And the Bailey Bags unit was inaugurated on the occasion of International Women's Day. So as a woman collector in Malabar area, I was called for a lot of programs, but personally I feel this is true women empowerment, wherein women are allowed to work, and they're also able to, they're given an environment where they can balance both their personal as well as professional ambitions.
Right, that's so nice. So digital presence is, critical for scaling. So what
Yes.
steps are being taken to integrate Bailey Bags into e-commerce platforms, and any challenges that exist in this regard?
Not really, since they have the partnership from the industries department, the Kudumbashri, as well as the district collector. We do not have such hiccups, but like I mentioned, they have to reach a professional stage. So only then we'll be able to, because when it comes to e-commerce platform, trust is what is required. The quality should be assured. At the same time, prompt delivery should be assured. So somebody gives me an order for 600, and if we are not able to deliver, we will lose that trust. So we have to give them some space and time. They just started now, so that they'll reach that kind of a professionalism wherein we can launch them at a bigger platform.
So जैसे आपने भी बताया थे, काफी सारे ऑर्डर्स ऑलरेडी आ चुके हैं, उनको फुलफिल करने में थोड़ा सा इशू क्रिएट हो रहा है. तो अभी आपका व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट माइलस्टोन दैट यू आर एमिंग टू अचीव इन द टर्म्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन कैपेसिटी?
So I told them 26 should come to 260 and 260 should come to 2600. So that is what I keep telling them. I asked them to bring a lot of people, and then like they have sufficient machines and they have to work in shifts. So all those things, slowly that inertia will be there, no? So slowly we are pushing them, so they will be able to work up. And the idea is to expand it further, bring more people into this unit, and then give them professional training. Then I was thinking that probably we should get in touch with some major players in bag making industry also, some Zook or some Bagit, somebody like that who can give that kind of a professional touch to their products.
Okay,
so the branding, value addition, then again standardization, quality assurance. So there's a long way to go.
Right. Any success story or testimonial that you want to highlight that has transformed the impact of Bailey Bags on individual lives?
See, all of them are financially literate. Okay, so now they do not have any fear factor to interact with anybody, because since like they have got such a good response, they have been interacting with NGOs, they maintain their registers, they do the big bookkeeping, they take the orders. So all of this has transformed their lives. Earlier they were all like like sitting inside the home looking after the household chores. Now like their outlook towards life has changed, and also that thinking that we should not just dwell on the government support and we should do something on our own, that itself is very satisfying for me.
So any message for the viewers who are watching this video, especially the women who think that they are not enough?
So I would like, see, I personally speaking, I also I am the first Indian administrative officer from my family. So before I came into service, I have never interacted with an IAS. So then like probably like I also had this mental block with myself, that will I be able to do this? Is this something that I will be able to achieve? So then like looking back, I feel that unnecessarily I doubted myself. I doubted my capacity and I kept a limitation to myself. So my message to everybody who is listening to this video is, see, no matter what you aspire to, you can definitely reach there. You can definitely reach your goals and aspirations. But you should have the dedication, you should have that courage, and you should dream big. Then persistently, if you're ready to work for those dreams, definitely you'll be achieve all those things. So I wish all the viewers very best, and thank you so much.
So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining in Masterminds today and for this insightful interview. This is truly a wonderful initiative. I hope the Bailey Bag project gains widespread recognition and reaches new heights, making a significant impact in promoting sustainability and empowerment.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Muskan.